Cintania and Rahmayani, NPM 191604 and 40 from Department Administration Publik of Universitas Lampung. Today, I will explain to all of you about the quality of public service in Indonesia during this pandemic. First of all, of course, we must know what public service is. In Law Number 25 of 2009 concerning public service, it is stated that public service are activities in order to meet service needs in accordance with statutory regulation for every citizen of goods, service, and administrative service provided by public service providers. Service to the community is the main objective in carrying out public administration. The delivery of public service in Indonesia is still an increasingly complex policy issue because the improvement of public service in this country tends to be not going well, while the implications for the service themselves are very broad. The public always demands quality public service from bureaucrats, even though these demands are often not in accordance with expectation because public service that have occurred so far still tend to be convoluted, slow, expensive, tiring, and uncertain. This situation can occur because the community is still positioned as the party serving, not being served. If we connect this problem with a public administration approach, then this will enter into a new managerial or public managerial (NPM) approach. Because the main value in the NPM approach is still result-oriented and also focused on public service. NPMs also see individuals or communities as customers, so that the fulfillment of people's needs inevitably makes the government transform into a more business-oriented one. This makes improving public service absolutely necessary, so that the bad image of society towards the government can be improved. Because by increasing the quality of public service, it can affect public satisfaction, so the public trust in the government can be rebuilt, especially during this pandemic. Public service must continue to run well so that people can continue to meet their needs. However, there are many problems that arise in the community regarding public service, such as community concern that the needs and interests of the community in the midst of these pandemics and order will not be fulfilled. So, what else are the problems related to public service today? First, there are still many agencies that don't have clear procedure for providing service. The convoluted service procedure is very troublesome for us as users of public service. Second, there is still rampant corruption among government officials, where the budget should be used to improve the quality of public service. However, it is misused by irresponsible parties. Third, there are still many service personnel skills that are classified as low and not in accordance with their duties to provide good service. Fourth, there are still many officers who show unfriendly attitudes how to speak or say something. Fifth, public service providers don't understand the essence of service delivery. Employees with civil servant status don't work according to their fields, and some civil servants are also less competent and responsive in serving the community. Okay, next, we will discuss what service providers can do to improve the quality of their service in the midst of the pandemic. First, provide clear information regarding service standards. Most of the public service providers have social media and websites. However, these media are often not used to convey service standards. Along with this pandemic, providing clear and up-to-date information through various media will greatly assist the public in obtaining clear information. So, there are no crowds in the service room. Second, increase the competence of public service providers. Various adjustment and adaptation are made in the service process, of course, to support this is done properly. It is necessary to increase the competence of service providers or human resources, especially in the use of information technology, based system, and other principal public service. Third, adaptation of facilities, infrastructure, and service facilities. Facilities, infrastructure, and facilities at the service location certainly need adjustment. Adaptation that can be done include providing direct service using personal protective equipment, such as masks or face shields, implementing social distancing by providing distance between queues and waiting rooms, providing hand sanitizer or washing hands and sterilizing regularly, but spraying disinfectant and air cleaners, conditioner regularly. Fourth, of course, in the midst of a pandemic like today, the use of information technology or administration online is needed so that public service can continue to run effectively. Unfortunately, not all public service can be done online. Therefore, the person in charge of public service providers needs to identify service products that can be provided online and manually or directly, so that no community is disadvantaged due to obstruction of the service delivery process, and the public can continue to access service until now condition. The Covid-19 pandemic has taught us about the important role of government in such uncertain conditions. People are very dependent on the government. The pandemic also forced us to admit that the digital transformation of public service is still lagging behind. Put simply, we still see queues of public service amid calls for distance and health protocols. The COVID-19 pandemic should be a trigger for the government to continue and innovate in public service, manage public service complaints optimally, and provide the best service to the public by sticking to strict health protocols. Well, I think that's all I can tell you about. I hope you enjoyed and understood what I'm talking about in this video. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye!
절대 변하지 않아 네가 나를 지운다 해도 우린 변하지 않아 서로의 맘에 새겨져 있으니까